Alexa, stop. Hey there, it's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed, and it's Wednesday, September 29th. It says September 28th, but it's really not September 28th, it's the 29th. I am the absolute worst with dates on this dang on podcast. You'd think I couldn't find the calendar. Um, it's 20. I have no idea. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, anyway, so it's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed, and welcome. And you know how we get started? Same as always, 3 cheers of joy. So let's get started tonight. First off, I have to say, um, I am only drinking water tonight, water and Diet Coke, because I opened a bottle of wine today and I drank it already. So I'm only drinking water today. So let me get my water ready. It's Polar Seltzer. I think it comes from Publix or Kroger. I don't know. It's a seltzer water. So get that ready. Still sounds good, doesn't it? Mm-mm. I love pouring. I have a whole drinking problem. I got Diet Coke down here. I got a water bottle down here. I got my seltzer water. I just poured in my exquisite wine glass. And I have a little bourbon that I was drinking earlier just in case I wanted a little pop, right? So anyway, it's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed, and it's Wednesday, September 29th. And let's get started. So 3 cheers of joy brought to you by Queen's Ransom alcohol-infused products. Hard tea Tamacion is what I had the past 2 weeks. So I haven't had anything new yet, but she has lots of products with popcorn and everything. So if you buy some, if you decide you want some Queen's Ransom, use discount code QueenJoy and save your 10% and let her know that you heard it here on Joy Exposed. Let's see. Gosh, that's off too. You guys, I'm horrible with this date, right? I'm a mess over here. Let's see, edit. September 29th. All right, let's save it. That'll be better that way. If we got it. Show. There we go. All right. So anyway, so let's get started. 3 cheers of joy. I've said that like 10 times, right? Let's get started. I keep saying that. It's 3 cheers of joy. So my first cheer of joy goes out to my listeners, to my audience. Thank you so much for listening and checking in with Joy Exposed. Thank you for rocking out with me. You may not know this, but after I record the podcast on Facebook, then I convert them and upload them to an RSS feed that goes on to other media platforms, wherever you can find your great podcast. So if you ever miss a live, you can always go and Google Joy Exposed. It shows right up. You can also go to YouTube, youtube.com, Joycelyn Wells. You can watch all of the past Joy Exposed shows there. I've been cleaning them up a little bit. So some of them are, the old ones are gritty and grainy. Can't even really see them well. Just because of the way that we were recording them back then. But now it's different technology, different ways of doing things. So now the quality is better. So anyway, so that's my first cheer of joy, is to my audience. So whether you're watching live on Facebook or my website or YouTube, or listening on iTunes or Google Play or Spotify or wherever you find your awesome podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. So cheers to you. And I know normally 3 cheers of joy has nothing to do with anybody else, but without you guys showing up and listening and participating, this wouldn't be a good moment for me. So cheers to you guys for my cheer of joy. My second cheer of joy is for toenail polish, right? I have not polished my toes in a while. And I remember talking about this before the summer. I stopped polishing my toes because they were turning yellow. I noticed they were yellow in between polishes. And I thought that the polish was, I thought that my toenails were turning yellow because I was getting older. So I wasn't sure if it was a natural progression of aging or if it was the nail polish. And so I stopped polishing them. And lo and behold, they turned white again. So it wasn't the aging, it was the polish. So I decided on 2 nights that I would polish my toes. And I got my polish out, and Faceless Love was like, "Why are you polishing your toes?" And I said, "Just because I don't feel pretty. I don't feel sexy." And I remember when I felt pretty and when I felt sexy, I always polished my toes every week or so. And I just needed to get some of that back. So I sat up and polished my toes. This bright lime green, which is lots of fun colors. And yeah, so I polished my toes. And so cheers to toenail polish for giving me a little bit of going on. So cheers to that. Let's see. Somebody just says, oh, am I awake? Yes, because I'm recording my podcast. Okay, so my third cheer of joy is that I went home for the weekend. Well, I went to Tampa for the weekend. I got to hang out with my kids, which was lots of fun. Just the emotional weekend of ups and downs and highs and lows and bloop, 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 all over the place. So I did go home for that, and I got lots to talk about with that. I'm going to wait for my daughter to come on live to talk about it. And this is so funny because it doesn't look like my podcast is recording right now. It says I'm live, but where am I live? Hold on. Let me check my YouTube. I may have to just go live the way that I go live normally if it's not showing on here. Oh, there I am. It is live on YouTube. Okay, I am live. That was my bad. I was like, this is crazy. So maybe it's just not showing live on Facebook. So hold on just a second. Let me go check out my Facebook real quick. Sorry about this, guys. You know me and my techie issues. Pages. Am I there? Let's see. Am I live? Let's see what this says. It's not showing on my Facebook at all. So this is crazy, 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 crazy. So let me see if I can figure out what is going on with that. As a matter of fact, let me stop it. Hey there. I think I had some technical difficulties. Let me see what was going on my social media before I start again because I was unhappy about that. I don't see that it's, there it is. It says I am live now. Okay. So let me check on my page and see what it says on my page. There we go. Hey there. Okay, everybody. Sorry. It's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed, and it's Wednesday, September 29th, and it's 9:10. So funny thing is, I did this pre-setup to record to all the destinations. However, for the past 10 minutes, I've been talking to nobody because the only destinations that picked up was on YouTube, I think, and it didn't even populate. So I'm glad I got an opportunity. I thought about it and went and checked because just about a few seconds ago, I got a message that says, oh, excuse me, you aren't doing your show. So here I am. Ta-da! All right. So it's Wednesday, September 29th, and it's 9:10. Sorry, I'm late. It's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. And let's get started because we got somebody coming in at 9:15. So now I got to go fast. All right. So at 9, okay, so 3 cheers of joy. My first cheer of joy, 3 cheers of joy brought to you by Queen's Ransom. They're alcohol-infused products. And I don't have any this week, which is probably good because I started drinking a bottle of wine today, and I finished it already. So I'm only drinking water today in my exquisite wine glass. And I'm drinking Polar seltzer water, which I got from like Kroger, Publix or somewhere. Inexpensive sparkling water. I love it. And I got another bottle of water. And I have Diet Coke, which I love. I covet Diet Coke. So this is what I'm drinking tonight, though. 3 Cheers of Joy, brought to you by Queen's Ransom. If you go to queensransomllc.com and place an order, don't forget to use Queen Joy as your discount code or your coupon code so you can save 10%. So 3 Cheers of Joy. My first cheer of joy is always 3 moments of self-celebration that have nothing to do with anybody else but you. And tonight I start with you, my audience, my guests, my listeners, my watchers, my viewers, my friends, my fans, and people who listen, everything. You're like my confidants. And if I didn't have the opportunity to have this platform, I honestly don't know mentally where I would be. So cheers to you for allowing me to be me. No judgment, no bullshit, no whatever. Because y'all know Joycelyn's liable to say any damn thing, and y'all are here for it. So cheers to you. Now, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, or you're listening on anywhere you can find your amazing podcast, any of those platforms, from iTunes to Google Play, Podchaser, whatever it is, I'm here, so you can Google Joy Exposed or Google Joycelyn Wells. And the reason I'm in all those places is because I have people who love to listen to me, and that means a lot to me. So thank you guys very much. And if you're viewing this right now, do me a favor and share it on your social media to give some other people an opportunity to get to know Joy Exposed. All right, that's my first cheer. My second cheer of joy is toenail polish. I polished my freaking toes 2 nights ago for the first time in months. And remember, I stopped polishing my toes because I thought my toenails were turning yellow because I was aging. So I was like, am I aging and my toenails are turning yellow? Or is it the polish that I've been wearing for years? So I stopped polishing them so they could regenerate. Anyway, I went all summer without polish. And then I took out my polish the other night, and Faceless Love was like, why are you polishing your toes? I said, because I don't feel pretty. I don't feel sexy. And I just remember when I used to polish my toes, I felt pretty and sexy then. Like, not that that would help me to be pretty or sexy or make me pretty or sexy, but it made me, I remember being pretty and feeling pretty and sexy when I did it. So I polished my toes this amazing green, which was inspired by my oldest daughter because she had some neon green nails. So cheers to green toenail polish on my toes. My third cheer of joy. Oh, I got to spend the weekend with my grandbaby. Oh, she's so sweet. She makes me crazy. So I got to spend the weekend with her. I mean, literally, she makes me crazy. And not always in a good way. Sometimes in a crazy way. But, she is who she is, and she's learning. And I'm learning. I'm learning to be a grandmother. She's learning to be a granddaughter. Or she's being a granddaughter. She's not learning. She's being. And that was really fun. A lot of great things happened. I got to see my grandbaby. It was Jasmine's birthday. She turned 25. And it was brought to my attention by Faceless Love niece that I'm 52 and Jasmine's 25. So we're like the same age, reverse, right? So that was kind of cool. And then my oldest daughter, Joya, got engaged. So a lot happened this past weekend. I went from high to low to high to low to high to low to high, like so many times that I was literally exhausted when it was time to go. It was just like, it's time to go. I'm ready to get home. I'm ready to chill out. So that was my third cheer of joy. So we went from cheers to my viewers, which I appreciate and love so much, and listeners. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for sharing this on your social media platforms. And neon green toenail polish on my toes. That's my second cheer of joy. And the third cheer of joy is my family, getting to see them and riding the emotional roller coaster with them. It keeps me human. It makes me know that as much as I try to escape and be by myself, I'm never really by myself. And it's crazy emotional ride with my babies. So 3 Cheers of Joy brought to you tonight by Queen's Ransom LLC, infused alcohol infused products. For the past 2 weeks, I've been drinking Tamacion, and I can't wait to try some new products. So if you order something, don't forget to use Queen Joy to get your 10%. Hey there, Charles. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. All right. So let's see, keep it going here. So I was supposed to have a guest come in, and I'll wait and see if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Then we will be all right. We hope that they do. All right. So I'm going to talk to you guys about my roller coaster weekend of friends and family. My roller coaster weekend of family, I'll say. I really went down to babysit Ariel. Like, I went to be on Grammy duty, so Jasmine's turned 25, she could turn up. And that's a big deal, that's a big ask, So, and she never really came out and asked me, would I come do it? I volunteered when she was talking about her plans for what she wanted to do. And I said, oh, well, what are you going to do with Ariel? And she says, well, I'm just trying to figure that out now. We may do this, we may do that, that kind of thing. And I was like, well, let me come. Can I come? Can I come hang out? And, she's like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious. So went out with Ari, flew down, hung out with Ariel for Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she went with her mom. And then Sunday, Faceless Love and I hung out in the city. It was a great weekend. I mean, what I'm finding is that I think as you get older, you realize that you kind of coast in this place, and you coast in the place that that you are in control of yourself. So when other people come in and bloop, turn you upside down or push you out of the road or whatever it is, you're kind of like, what the fuck? And then you realize we really don't operate as like an island. There's so many things and people connected to us. And I find that with my children. And I'm having to, we really don't operate. Oh, that's me. Sorry. I'm really trying to figure out how to stay in that space of, I know that I'm a mother and I know that I have 3 children, but like, at what point am I no longer responsible for the well-being of my children? Like, when do you let go? When do you let the kids go and just do their shit? I'm telling you, my kids are 27, 25, and 18. Now, the 18-year-old, I still hold him pretty close because he's 18 and he's learning. He's in school. So he's going to have some crazy shit to happen to him. That's expected. But at what age does the crazy shit stop happening to the older kids? Like, when are you in that adult space? And I think I ask those questions because I was so serious my whole life. This is me. I was serious my whole life. So I didn't really get into a lot of bullshit. I just didn't. I had my time, but I was young, 18, 16. But by the time I was 21, I was married, so I was married. I had a baby at 24, home, so I was always in this kind of place. So by the time I started getting into my shit, turning up and for my birthday and all this, I was 40 something, so I was responsible for myself already. So I don't know with the kids, when you figure out it's not your place to hold them, they let them do what they're going to do. And I try my damnedest to let them do what they're going to do. But sometimes I tell you what, I just want to grab them and shake their ass like, what the hell were you thinking? What the hell were you expecting to happen? Like, sometimes I want to, and I'm just like, they're adults. They're adults. So you can't really do that. So I'm just thinking about that. And if you guys have any comments about it, like, when did you let go? When did you let go of your kids? Stop worrying about them, or if you ever stop worrying about them, or wondering how they're doing or where they are. When did that ever stop? So it's difficult for me because I'm like, ooh, y'all gonna get a damn heart attack. But let me send this to my daughter. I think I sent her the wrong link. All right. So I just wonder when when that happens, and it may not ever happen. I don't know, because You only get one life, right? So if you don't have your mom, who do you have? So anyway, so we got through 3 cheers of joy. I told you guys about my great weekend of everything happening in one weekend. It was so completely turned upside down. I got to see my cigar buddies. Shout out to Maduro Maradas. I hung out with them and just just got some hugs and smoke, lit some sticks and hung out. So that was really cool. Just put some smoke in the air. So all that was really cool. I had some great food. Man, it wasn't even a lot, anything that I planned. It was just, I'm going to hang out with the grandbaby. Like, we're going to hang out with her for 3-4 days and then we're going to come home. And that's pretty much what we did. But it's been, it was a great time. All right. So if you have seen where I posted on social media, well, first, let me say this. Yesterday, I did an interview with a therapist, a mental health counselor out of Valdosta. Her name was Dr. Hill, Dr. D. Hill. And, it was a great interview. And so let me tell you what I liked about it, because I'm no therapist, right? I'm like the person so you said you were going shopping and you needed help at the grocery store. Now, I can help you at the grocery store because I've been to the grocery store before, but I don't work there. She works there, right? So she's a mental health counselor that, and I was just listening and having conversations with her yesterday during our interview. And I thought, wow, a lot of what I've figured out along my path is a lot of what people are asking for and learning. And I was so pleased to have that conversation with her. So here we go. We got my oldest daughter, Joya Danielle, joining us, or not. She disappeared. Did you disappear, babe? Joya? She disappeared. Let me turn this off for a second. Okay, she'll be back. I'll wait till she pop back up. Let me tell her. Oh, anyway, she'll come back on. Your video is out. Okay. So just talking to her, and she said she works with Black American women exclusively, and children. So she only works with women, Black American women, but she works with children from ages 12 and up that are referred to her by families. And she will work in the family capacity too. But man, talking to her and listening to how she found her way in that space just blew me away, because we never know. She's one of those stories of you never know, because she said when she went into work in the environment, she said she would never talk about drugs, politics, and she would never work with women. And now she's a mental health counselor dealing with women who have been on drugs, drug addicts. And she said, and she's in a piece of politics too that happened. She kind of gotten pushed into, and she's enjoying all of it. So she's really kind of that story, one of the stories that says, never say what you won't do or what you're not going to do, because you don't really know where God's going to take you to do it. And that was really cool talking to her. And that video is available on YouTube with was My Shape Spotlight with Dr. D. Kennedy. And here we go. Hi there. This is Joy Moore. Can you hear me? I can't hear. Can you hear me? Hey, baby. Not yet. You got to turn your volume. All right, we'll take her out till she gets her volume. Let me know when you're ready. So that was really cool talking to her. And she and I have a contact in common. Jackie Bosby. And Jackie Bosby is she works for the JPN network. She owns the JPN network, and that's who I do the videos for and the interviews for. Hey, baby, ready? I can't hear you. No volume. All right. So let's see. Uh-oh. Can you try again? What'd you say? No volume. She's having some technical difficulties. She'll be back. I'll let her in when she comes back. All right. So I've been working with oh, she went away. So I've been working with Jackie Bosby on the JPN network. I do some video recordings for them of called Open Book with Joycelyn Wells. It's a whole series that I do. I meet authors and interview them, and they air on the Open Book Network. And we've got enough interviews now that go all the way through the end of the year. And they do a great job with them. And I've just met her, and so many neat opportunities have come out of dealing with her, just knowing her. So I kind of hang tight in that moment. I want to get Joya on before I go into our discussion. What I want to talk about tonight. What y'all doing anyway? Let me see if anybody on my Facebook. I only see one comment. Let me see. As I can Let's see. March. Okay, let's see if I got any comments. Let me see. Oh, listen to me. I'm just talking. Hey there, Reiko. Thank you. It's your birthday, right? It's Reiko's birthday. Happy birthday, Reiko. Reiko is a Facebook friend of mine. We travel together. We visit each other. So it's kind of cool. And I think today's her birthday. We were just in Cabo together. All right. So let's see. I think Joy is having some technical issues. So I'm going to keep pushing, right? So I made a little post, and it was talking about how when people are talking to us, when people are whispering in your ear, are they doing it for themselves or for you? Right. And so that's the kind of thing that I think about all the time when I think about how people are trying to make use of me. And that's, you guys know, that's a big thing for me when people are trying to make ill use of me or to get me to do something I don't want to do, or take advantage of me. So I have to wonder that the sincerity of people talking to you, and all of you have had this before. I'm sure you're trying to do something and somebody's telling you to do something different. I mean, but how would they know? Not from a personal, let me just make sure I say this right, because I don't want to piss anybody off. But I guess it doesn't matter. Not from a personal, selfish space, right? Like when I'm talking about what I'm doing to someone, if I don't respect them, or if I haven't gained a respect for them, there's very little that they can tell me. I'm not just going to do it because they said it, or I'm not going to take their suggestion because they said it, or they heard about it, or read this, or did. That's not how I'm going to do this, right? So here comes, looks like Joy is coming back. Let's see if we got her now. Hey, baby. No volume. I don't know. No volume. Nope. Dang it. Nope. Hold on. Let me see if I can do something different. Invites. Okay. Let's see. Add a source. No. Okay. Well, let me push this off for a second. I can't figure out why we don't have any volume there. So hang on. Hey, baby. Oh, she's gone. All right. So when people have ulterior motives, right? And we need to be comfortable to tell people no, thank you, when they offer us some advice. Let me tell you why. The people don't know where you're supposed to be fucking going. They don't know your path. They don't know your experiences. They don't know what opportunities are in front of you. And people, we can literally get jacked up in trying to fill a purpose, getting to that place, if we stop because somebody else has stopped. Oh, you shouldn't do it this way. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do this. Now, I know a lot of it is us. It becomes it's our issue, because if we aren't taught to make decisions, if we aren't taught to be resourceful and make decisions and move, then we're always going to be caught up to somebody, waiting for somebody to tell us what to do. Then we get caught in a situation that we don't want to be in. Like, have you ever had a job that you just fucking hated? Like, you had a job, you hated it, but you stayed in it because people told you it's a good idea to keep that's a good job. You should keep that job. Hey, Stephanie. So have you ever stayed in a position that you're like, this sucks, but you stayed because somebody else told you? But what you don't realize, the uncomfortable feeling that you have is you supposed to be moving on to something else. You're not supposed to be there. You go there, you get some experience, you get paid a paycheck, and then you keep it moving. We have to be careful with people whispering to us, telling us what they think we should do, because they don't fucking know. They're guessing. Like, seriously, they're guessing. Unless you're in a place that somebody has designed a curriculum or training or management track that you're trying to get through, or to, you're not listening to them. Don't, because they don't know, and you're stopping yourself from moving forward. When people try to get you to stay in yucky ass relationships, whatever they are, well, you should do this, and what about this, and you should do this, and what about that? What is it for them? What's the benefit of them for you to stay in that relationship? We have to get to a point that we trust what the hell we think. You have to get to a place that you respect your thoughts and your movements. You respect your thoughts and you trust your thoughts and your movements. And I know that says a lot, because we question everything. Well, I do. I'm finally getting to the place now that if I have a thought that involves my movement, then I'm comfortable making it. I'm really comfortable making it. I had to learn how to get that, but that has me trusting me and knowing that whatever decision I make, I'm okay making that decision. And I came up talking about this when people are whispering in your ear, because people are selfish. Humans are selfish. Humans will keep taking from you as long as you stay there and let them take from you. Humans are selfish as fuck. But when you realize your obligation isn't to humans, your obligation is to the universe. Like, when you realize that you're greater than that space, you stop allowing the humans, the people, to manipulate you into what you want to do. Some people gain power in moving other people around. There are whole games based on that. Chess is one. Winning. Can you outthink the other person? Can you protect your resources and take other people's? I mean, there's a whole, businesses are built on being able to manipulate that. The people who are being manipulated, some of them are supposed to be there and some of them are not. But the person who's doing the manipulating, who's getting what they want, they're not going to tell the ones who aren't supposed to be there, you aren't supposed to be there, because they're benefiting from the place there. Those people have to decide for themselves, I need to be somewhere else. One thing that I believe for myself is, when I'm doing something and I need to move in it, or it's uncomfortable for me, or I don't like it, or I'm not getting anything from it, I know it's time for me to get the hell on. I've outgrown it. It's time for me to get the hell on. I know that, but I had to get to that place. I spent 20 years working in retail. 20 years working in retail. I was a pharmacy technician. I was a store manager. I was an assistant manager. I was a regional trainer. I was loss prevention, all with the same company. And I worked with people who said, oh my gosh, you're so smart. And I did. So it wasn't like I worked with people who held me in a place, but I also shouldn't have been there that long. So the funny thing is, I was so dedicated to this company. Now the fucking company's gone. It's completely gone. And I've spent 20 years of my life working there, just dedicated to this company. It meant a lot to me. I was personally invested in it. Now the whole company's gone. Now, did I learn stuff from it? Of course I learned from it. So I'm not saying I didn't learn anything. What I'm saying is it was time for me to go long ago. I used to have migraines and I would be nauseous getting ready to go to work in the morning and all kinds of stuff. But I had to go to work. I had to go to work. So I was letting this job beat me up so bad until I learned how to take care of myself. From a nurse who just randomly said something to me about going to exercise. And that's how I started exercising. But the people who wanted me to stay there, my husband, had a job, so he was making money. My husband was wanting me to stay there. I mean, you can't quit. Where are you gonna go? Better than that. I mean, it's the best that's out there right now. You doing good, you making good, talking me into the space of something that wasn't good for me. But I listened because it was my husband. But I listened because it was my husband. And I stayed in that space, whether it was detrimental to me or not. You have people nowadays working, they have high blood pressure, they have strokes, they hate their jobs are stressful, they're dying at these jobs, they're literally dying at these jobs. They're putting everything in them, they're getting terminated, like all of this. And then it's a recovery because you're personally vested in this space. It was space that you knew long ago you shouldn't have been there, that you said, damn, I should have left this job 2 years ago anyway. I shouldn't even still been here. You can see it after the fact. But while you're in it, can you trust yourself to say enough is enough? Can you trust yourself to say, I'm done. I'm going to go do something else? Whatever it is, I'm going to go paint art in the street. I'm going to paint graffiti for the city. Whatever it is, if it's something you want to do, at least give it a try that you want to do it, right? We have to get to a place of understanding that if we aren't traveling along our paths, collecting what we need, it's going to take us longer to get to where we need to go, pretty much, right? That's it. It's going to take us longer to get to where we need to go. This includes not just jobs, nasty ass relationships too. If you're in a nasty ass relationship, get out of it. Get out of it, because it's not, relationships aren't supposed to hurt. They're not supposed to be painful. They're not supposed to be traumatic. They're even the thought process that people tell you, relationships are hard. It's a lot of work. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. If you're in a relationship with somebody you like, what's hard about that? What's hard about being in a relationship with somebody that you like? What's hard about being in a relationship with somebody you want to be in a relationship with? What's hard about being in a relationship with yourself, right? We literally have to flip the switch. This mindset of things that are good for us are supposed to hurt us. Now, does it require effort? Absolutely, it requires effort. You want to go to college? It's not necessarily going to be easy, but it's not going to beat you up either. It's not going to kick your ass. You're learning as you go. You're checking off these things to get you to the next level. So it is a learning process. Everything good for you is a learning process. The things that aren't good for you are going to be detrimental, and they're not going to be a learning process. You'll learn from, I don't want to be in this nasty ass situation again. But people always want to convince you to stay in a yucky space, whatever it is. And if it's a benefit to them, they're going to sound really good convincing you to stay in a yucky ass space. And you'll be the one suffering while they're doing whatever and you still doing whatever for them. It's holding you in place, right? So, that's one of the things that I think about all the time. And especially when people are sharing something to me, sharing stuff with me, and working for myself. That's a big deal, right? Working for myself, I meet people and they see what I'm doing, and then they tell me what they want from me. The one thing that I have to be careful with is what they're asking for me. Is it in line with what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Is it in line with what I'm supposed to be doing? I've had a couple of really weird experiences with people working. I remember I started doing the radio show, and then that turned upside down because the owner of the radio station wanted something from me, and there wasn't anything in return. He wanted, like, what he wanted from me, there was no return on what he wanted. right? And I had to walk away from that because it was exciting. I get to be on a radio station. I get to da 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 da. Oh, it was exciting, and I could have stayed. I could still be there right now, but why? It wasn't good for me. I didn't like the way that I felt about it, so I had to exit. Another situation, I had got an agent that I was working with. Remember, I was really excited about that. And I remember her telling me that she wanted me to go live. And I was like, okay, I can go live. That's no big deal. She's like, I want you to go live and I want you to talk about sex. And I was like, what about it? No, just talk about it. And I was like, from a clinical space, like what, how much sex do you want? Like gut bucket sex or clinical sex? Like what? Oh, just talk about it. And then I realized this person wants something from me. They see such a small piece of sliver, small piece of what I offer, and they're trying to use that to their advantage. So I severed that relationship, right? So those things happen. And what I had to figure out is I'm okay on the other side of it. I'm okay. So it doesn't matter what somebody's saying to you and it sounds all creepy and you're like, well, am I going to be able to look at myself in the mirror tomorrow? What you have to think is, am I going to be okay if I walk away from this situation? What's the worst thing that can happen to me? Well, I don't work with that person anymore. I don't work with that person anymore, but am I okay? Am I okay? Those are always the key. That's the key question I ask myself when I'm in a space with the situation that I have to walk away from. Am I okay? Am I safe? Is anybody going to be hurt because of this? And most of the time that it's not. And it's okay for me to walk away. And I wholeheartedly recommend that when somebody comes to you and they start presenting you with these amazing opportunities or trying to convince you to do something that you're already saying no to, it's okay to say no. It's okay to walk away from them. That's you walking more in your path. That's what stepping into your light, saying no. No, thank you. No, thank you. Which is no is one of my favorite words. No. It's my favorite word to say, but yes is my favorite word to get. See how that works. But yeah, so we just have to be really careful the way that we talk to people, what we try to convince people to do, manipulation, huge, right? And it's okay to walk away from that shit. And it's okay when somebody's talking to you about something, it's your hair start raising on the back of your neck. You already know that shit is crazy. You've got to trust yourself. We have to get to a place that we trust our own thoughts about things, not to where we're a week later saying, oh, I knew that shit was bogus. I shouldn't have done that. I knew that. No, up front, this is fucked up. I don't like it. This doesn't feel good to me. Give me some time. And when you say that, people back off. You start making your own steps and doing your own thing, people back off. And that's okay. Like literally, it's okay. We're brought up to think that people want something from us or people older than us can tell us what we should be doing. And guess people have been in jobs for 20, 30 years off of what somebody told them, and they're miserable there. And they're still seeking their purpose. They're still trying to figure out how to get to a place, how to be happy. How do you get to a happy place? How do you get to a good place? How do you get to a place that you like yourself, that you love yourself, and that you're free? You get there by trusting your placement in the universe. That's how you get there. You get there by trusting that God is there and God is the guide. And that's a spiritual place to get to because we put so much on man. We rely on man so much. And man is limited in what they can see and limited in ability. And God isn't. And if we get caught up in the space that man wants, ain't no telling how long we'll sit there waiting on something else to happen. Another man to come along and help us out of it, right? And many times people are stuck in those spaces. They don't even know they're stuck. They don't even know they're being manipulated. They don't know there's something else. They're just there. And when that happens, you leave them there. You can't go. You can't make somebody come with you. You leave them exactly where they are. And you don't stay in that space because you got work to do. You got a place you need to be. You got stuff that you need to do. And you know that. You know that because you can discern the difference when somebody's saying you need to do this or you should do this, if they're giving it for your good or it's giving it for theirs, right? And all of it is okay. And people who tell you stuff for your benefit, there's no benefit in it for them. They're just sharing information. That's what I do all the time. I share information. Okay. I mean, not even in a scolding, lecturing way. I think if somebody comes to me and they have a question, I'm like, oh yeah, well, I did this, this happened to me, or this, or this is what I did, or have you thought about? I'll have a whole conversation, but I'm not going to go to somebody and force them to hear what I have to say, because one, that's disrespectful. I'm not respecting where they are, and two, it ain't none of my fucking business. If you like where you are and our paths happen to cross, good for you. I'm gonna leave you right fucking there. Unless you specifically ask me something, that shit don't matter to me. That's on you, and I'm gonna keep it moving. But you don't get to ask me. You don't get to whisper in my ear to stay with you in that space, because it's not a benefit to me. What's the benefit to me to stay in this space? That's kind of what I said last week, right? If I sell my soul, what's the benefit? Who benefits if I sell my soul? The person I sold my soul to, right? It's just, that's so funny, because this is all like right in there together. Because people will try to talk you into what they want from you. Nah, not interested. I'm not interested in selling my soul. I'm not interested in seeing what you got going on. Your slimy little suit with your gold on the inside, like the little pimp chains and stuff that they used to have on TV. Look what I got. I'm not interested in any of that. I got my own thing. I'm moving towards my own thing. And that's what we have to really do, is kind of find out what the intention is for us. What was the intention of our birth? Why are we here? Right? What is that? And trust in it. And that's not coming from man. There are some great surveys out there, some spiritual surveys to tell you to look at your spiritual gifts. I used to have one on my website. I got to find it. But there's some great surveys out there. If you're interested in your spiritual gifts that have been put out by churches, and research on spiritual gifts and what they are, and all, collected from the Bible, and compiled to where you take all these questions. It's really just like a personality survey. You've had those Myers-Briggs personality surveys before. So it's kind of like that, where you go through and you answer all these questions. And when you get to the end, it tells you, based on the questions, what type of spiritual gift that you have. Now, when I did mine, I had like two of them that were like neck and neck. And then they were all kind of, they were all kind of, they kind of go together. Like leadership and education was one of them. I am a leader. I am an educator. That was one. And also, I think as I had me listed as a shepherd, which goes along with the leadership piece. So, so it's like, if the more you want to know about yourself in a spiritual space, there's information out there. What I would advise is to not get caught up in the human space, that this, right? Don't get caught up in this, because it's short-lived and it doesn't give you an opportunity to grow very much. You do what you have to do, and you get to where you need to be, and you keep it moving. And everybody won't move with you. Everybody won't move with you. And I had to learn that the only people that I'm truly responsible for moving along with me, for moving, are my children. And I'm committed to them because I'm their vessel. Like, so God gave them to me. I'm their portal for life. That's it. Like, that's literally it. And I must have what I need for them to get to where they need to be. That's literally it. My human self, what I was saying earlier, is I'm still trying to hold on to them and making decisions, but they're 27, 25, and 18, right? So at some point, they step away on their own. They start trusting their own intuition and their own decisions. And I have to guide them in that. Like, so even my oldest daughter asked me a question earlier, should I do this or should I? And I said, honey, I can't tell you. I can't tell you whether you should or shouldn't, because it ain't got nothing to do with me. It's a desire that you have. It's a thought that you have. I have no experience in that space. If I tell you what I think and it turns out to be wrong, then you'll resent me for telling you wrong, even though you ask. So it's like, I can't tell you, but I do know that whatever she chooses, emotionally, I have to be in a space to receive her if it goes well or not so well. I still have to be in an emotional space to allow her to come through and kind of fix herself. Like, I still have to provide that, good or bad, but it's a choice that she made on her own. I was like, I'm not getting into it. My youngest daughter has been through all kinds of shit in the past 7 years, from quitting high school and getting her GED to having a baby and getting married, and now she's getting divorced. This is 7 years, and she's had all this shit happen in 7 years. It's like, slow down in 7 years, but she's growing. She's growing well. She's mature. She's a hustler. She wants to make her money. She wants to take care of her baby. So she's got her own shit. I can't tell her what to do because she did shit that I didn't know about. She did shit the way that I didn't do. So my advice is limited on what I can offer her. That's why I'm saying that sometimes people who come to you with information, they're saying it because it sounds good to them. It doesn't fucking matter whether it's good for you or not. It sounds good to them. So they're going to share it with you. It doesn't work like that. You can only operate information from the level of experience that you have. That's it. From your exposure and experience is all you can offer. If you come to me with something and I don't have any experience in that, I'm going to ask you questions to see if that aligns with something that I have had. If not, I'm going to say, hey, I got somebody I think you should talk to. I'm going to pass it off because I don't want to hold you in my space because you've got your own fucking space. So when people are coming to you and they're telling you this stuff, why the fuck are they telling you? And where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Hey, Christy. So when people bring you this information, why? That's the question. Why? What's the benefit for them? Is it a benefit to you? And is it to keep you in a place that you are uncomfortable or that you don't want to be? I think for me, my guide for being uncomfortable and being restless, or when I start feeling sick, I clearly don't like what I'm doing. Clearly don't like my job. I'm like, okay, time for me to go. When I worked in 5 years, I worked 5 years at the alternative school in Brandon Alternative. I worked 5 years there, where I've been the past 5 years. I knew at year 3 that by the end of year 3, I knew it was time to go. I literally knew it was time to go, but I had to make a plan. I did. I'm like, okay, I got to get my son out of high school. I got to get this grandbaby into school. Like, I had a plan. I had to call, hey, I know you're uncomfortable. I know you're ready to go. Keep yourself safe. Start planning. And that's what I did. So I had said that I was moving. The day after my son graduated, I said that I was moving. I'd said that, and I asked the universe for that. As soon as he graduates, I'm moving. He graduated on May 27th. I picked up the key to my new place on May 28th. I was gone. And it was so weird because it happened so succinct that I couldn't whine about it, right? Because I was like, shit, I asked the universe, I asked God for this to be able to move like right away. And here's the opportunity. Now I'm scared. Like, shit, maybe I should stay a little longer, another month. And I was like, how can I have thanked God for so many things and ask for this and then say no when it presents itself? I couldn't. So I had to go with it. And it was fast. It fell into place so quick. And I had to just get through it and know that I was going to get through it because I asked for it. I didn't ask somebody else to show me a way. I asked God to show me what was going to happen. Like, to say, I know I'm uncomfortable. I know I'm ready to move. Show me the way. I'm ready to move. I want to move. I said specifically the day after my son graduated, I was out of there. Early flight, gone. My son called me and like, yo, Mom, where are you? I'm in Atlanta. He was like, Mom, are you kidding? No, I'm gone. I'm out. I'll be back. But for right now, I'm gone. And those are the things that we have to believe in your words, which brings me to my last thought. I don't care what is happening in your life, good, bad, whatever. When you get to a place that you are grateful for it and you are thanking God for it, whether you thank God, whether you thank the universe, something greater than anything that you know, anybody, any human, if you're thinking, being thankful for everything that's happening, when some shit goes left, you cannot be upset about it because you've already been thankful for everything that's led you to that moment. And you know that that moment is temporary. Okay, it's left. Thank you for showing me this. Let me choose a different direction. Let me do something different. You have to trust that voice inside of you that says, come this way. Sometimes the voice inside of us tells us to do some fucked up shit. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the voice inside of us tells us to do some crazy shit. And you be like, oh no, I can't believe I ended up right here. But on the other side of it, you're like, okay, I'm glad I did that because I'm not gonna do that again. Like, so that was crazy, but what did I get from it? What did I learn from it? What was the experience of that? That's how it goes. Because we don't know where we're supposed to pick our gifts up from. We don't know where we're supposed to pick our tools up from to travel along our path. We don't know where all of these things are supposed to happen. Like, say, me writing my books. When I first started writing, I didn't know where my books were going to take me. My books set me free. My books removed so much clutter out of my brain. My book, and it's like interesting because my books are emotionally erotic tales of a single woman. Now, I could stop at that spot to say, this is what I write about. Oh, she write books about sex or she, whatever. But that ain't it. That's not it for me. And if I listen to people telling me, oh, you should write another one. You should write about this. You should. If I listen to people holding me in that place, then I wouldn't have gained so much other experiences along the way. Those books, my writing set me free. My writing literally set me free. I cannot even tell you how clear, because I'm not seeking something from somebody. I'm not seeking a human experience any longer because my books put out the single experiences I was seeking, that longing, that desire, that crazy chaotic moment that I was living in. I released all of that because I don't have to live it anymore. And people who write and people who release those things, whether it's child abuse or trauma or drugs, when they release that, they become different people. You hear people talking now and they'll tell you, oh, my story. They'll tell you about their story, gladly tell you their story because their story set them free. And the first thing about telling your story is telling yourself the truth about your story. Telling yourself the truth about all the bullshit that's happening in your life. And there's nothing wrong with it. We might be embarrassed or ashamed or somebody gonna be mad. Who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Seriously, nobody cares. Your story, your experiences lead you. They guide you down your path to getting to your purpose. So when people come to you in your ear, yang, 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 think about it. Is it for you or is it for them? And that's how you make your decision of what you're going to do. But if you're unhappy, if you're seeking something greater, then seek it. Go get it. It's a whole life out there. Go fucking get it. Go. All right, it's 10 o'clock. No, I started late, but it's 10. So we're going to wrap it up now. This is Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. And thank you guys for joining me on Wednesday, September 29th. And I noticed I have my painting here for my second book. I gotta hang it up somewhere. So I have my painting here for More Virtues of Joy. I was just looking at it in the camera. I was like, oh yes, girl. Anyway, whatever. So this is Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. And just remember, you are who you are, and you were chosen to be here. There's no reason to sit in the muck and be miserable. And I'm wholeheartedly going to support you. I'm going to wholeheartedly support you in all of the goodness, everything, everything. If you are moving along your path and we should cross, I know I have a gift for you, because that would be the only reason that we would cross, because I get to pour into you and you possibly pour into me, or maybe you pour into me, right? Who knows? Was just one-sided, who knows? But if we get to cross paths as you're walking along your journey, I would be more than happy to share with you. So this is Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. And remember, when joy is exposed, everything just feels better. See you next time. Mwah. Bye. What did I do with my mouse? I can't turn my computer off. You guys know I'm